I want to know more about you in this interview and also about your journey in building Gentoo from the start. So First of all, tell me a little bit, how did you first start in the industry and what did first attract you? And is it the same thing that keeps you going currently, or has it shifted a little bit?
Actually, the company started out as a master thesis project that I concluded. And when my master thesis was done, we launched a website called lifegoals.com. And that was like the first step for rebranding. Then, later we grew in size. We got acquired by, at that time, Gentoo Media. We continued to grow. Then later we rebranded into Gentoo Media after a series of acquisitions. So there has been a lot of different things leading up to this. I think what attracted me to the industry was all the opportunities that are in this industry. You can work with so many different things. And then, of course, also the international aspect that I really enjoy. And I think that's still very much the case for the industry. When I look at both of those things are still present.
What were some of the challenges after the rebrand?
When you rebrand, and also, we have divested our platform, standalone media business now. We've had to build up all of the supporting functions. So we have had to establish a fully independent finance team, BI team, human resources, legal, so on. And that has definitely been a challenge, from being part of something to suddenly having to establish all of that yourself. And that has been time consuming and also has consumed focus. 25 was not what we hoped it should be. I would say there was more headwinds than we had anticipated. So we have been doing good, but I'm not satisfied with what we have delivered in 25. Neither to our partners or to our investors. We have something to work on in 26. I think we have evolved a lot during a hard year, and we have changed a lot of things for the better now. And I think we have a much stronger organization and business than at the start of 25.
How important was it for Gentoo Media to become independent completely?
I mean, in the beginning, Gaming Innovation Group was built on the philosophy that we should have an involvement in every part of the value chain in iGaming.
Yeah.
And then basically earn a little bit from each step that, of the value chain. What we realized in that process was that it's very hard to be good at everything. And then at the same time, we looked at that the synergies between the different businesses were not really there. So I think the board took an assessment and said, it's far better for platform to be independent, and it's far better for media to be independent. And then sort of the conclusions were then, and the steps we had to take were logical. I would say it's sitting in upper management, it gives a lot more focus than we only have one business area to focus on. So I would say it was pretty important. And I think for the board, they had very clear objectives with this exercise.
We talked about the team, and you talked about how challenging it was to also, build the team up again in some way. How do you hire the right people, especially the core people in the company?
Yeah, good question. When you hire people, of course, you look at their resume experience.
Yeah.
That's, what all people would say. I think it's often overlooked the personal drive, the motivation, and the actual person you're hiring. I think I've learned over the years that there needs to be a personal fit also with the person that joins the company, a personal fit with the colleagues, and so on. So skills, experience, all important. But it's also the person behind it. Do they have a mindset that matches with you? And I would actually say that sometimes that's probably the most important factor. And that can be hard to judge in an interview process, right? You only have a limited interaction with a person. Sometimes you need to stick to your gut feeling. You can do a lot of personality tests, for instance. And then at the end of the day, you just have to make a decision and hope that it works out. It's not all hires that are going good. Everybody that has hired people know that. Some of them are amazing, some of them fails, and it is what it is. Then you just need to realize it sooner than later, of course, when it's not working.
How do you think your team members would describe your leadership?
I think they would say I'm very good at gathering people around me and moving towards a goal. I'm very targeted towards achieving whatever I would like to achieve. I would like to say that I'm a well-structured person, but I am not. I try to compensate by making a lot of structure, but I think the people around me would say I'm probably more chaotic than structured.
Honest answer.
Then I think they will also say that I'm a very strong, last-minute decision maker.
Oh, okay.
So yeah.
That's interesting. All right. What are some trends you're noticing in the affiliate space right now?
Of course, there's AI, right? That's an opportunity for us to optimize our business, adapt AI more and more. It also creates a disruption, potential disruption, with changes to search, how people use search engines and where they find information. We are really trying to adapt into AI to optimize our business. And then, of course, we are continuously monitoring the effects of AI on search and on users. So far, we haven't really seen an effect yet, but we, of course, something we are really looking into. Beyond that, I would say just AI I think offers a chance to do a lot of things smarter and better if you know how to do it. An area we are super excited about in the business for what we can use it for internally.
And what would be some challenges that you're seeing in the affiliate space?
I think AI disruption is definitely a challenge. There's also been, how to say this in a polite way, there's been a lot of regulatory developments that were maybe not anticipated. And I think that is a challenge because I think the industry is functioning the best if people know what to expect and can plan ahead. And I'm saying 25, both beginning and the end, there has been some regulatory decisions that, were not anticipated, at least not from my part. And I think that has been a challenge. And I hope that will look better in 26 and as we move forward. Then there's been, of course, there's also been changes to the affiliate market or the affiliate industry. Who are the big players? New players are coming up. That also creates, both opportunities and risk and
It's super interesting to watch that.
Yeah.
Gentoo has been in the industry for quite a while now. How do you try to adapt to the new trends and to the new generation and to all the new technologies?
I think, for instance, with our rebranding, we have tried to keep our legacy, but also show who we are now and who we truly are. And, it was a change to build on what is good and also say who do we want to be going forward. And I think that's probably one thing I would highlight here for us. As said in the beginning, I would like us now to be a little bit more opportunity-driven now again in Gentoo Media and a little bit more execution-focused. We have gone through many years with growing and then consolidation, and now I think we begin a new journey now with a focus on revenue growth, ultimately with the goal of generating cash.